Hello everyone, welcome to Amigos IAS. In today's segment of Current Affairs, we'll be discussing this article which has been given in today's The Hindu newspaper. So this article focuses on the issues of how population determines political representation as well as it affects the economics of any particular state. So these two are the angles explored in this particular article with respect to the topic called delimitation as well as finance commission. So these are the major issues discussed in this particular article. So we will try to understand each one by one. So in federal democracy, so India is a federal country, okay, and then we have Canada, USA, Australia. These countries are having federations. So in these countries, a state's relative population size will have lot of political and economic importance. For example, there is lot of linguistic identities and regional improvements or renaissances in political and social spheres in southern states. In southern states, we have seen lot of social reforms, and because of strong linguistic identity, because they're based on languages, they got great heights in all spheres of development. But in the northern states, because of backwardness, see, population control has not been achieved as it was there in the southern states. So in southern states there is social development and economic growth, which is what is lacking in the northern states. So what happens basically is, in the federation, how to balance the interests of various states, the various federal units, that is what matters. So changes in population geography will also affect the political and economic geography. How? We will see that. So we have to understand a topic called delimitation. Delimitation is nothing but the redrawal of the boundaries of the constituencies. Boundaries of constituencies, because we divide the entire political units in India based on what we call as constituencies. For example, as of now, we have 543 Lok Sabha constituencies. Telangana has 119 Lok Sabha, MLA constituencies or assembly constituencies are there. So each constituency is given one kind of representative. That is called, for example, MP in case of Lok Sabha. They are called MLAs in case of states for legislative assemblies. So how to divide this? Article 81 of the Indian Constitution says Lok Sabha constituencies are given as per the size of population, and Article 82 says there should be a delimitation after every census. That means in once in 10 years we have census, right? So after every census, because it talks about the population changes, so based on that population, because it will increase or decrease, change the size of constituencies also. It has been mentioned in Article 82 for the case of Lok Sabha. And for the sake of states, there is one more article, Article 170. Both these articles talk about delimitation. 81 talks about the distribution of seats in Lok Sabha as per population, but delimitation article is 82 and 170. So another important point is delimitation happened in India so far 4 times only. Okay, so the last delimitation, of course, based on the size of the constituencies, happened in 1971. That means 1972 was the last time we have seen the changes in the India's constituencies of Lok Sabha as well as the states. Because at that time the government felt that because population of India is keep on increasing, we need to make this date as frozen, because government of Indira Gandhi at that time has brought an amendment called 42nd Amendment at 1976. As per this amendment, if we keep on increasing the size of the constituencies based on population, some states having more population will stand to gain. That is why the government at that time brought the amendment, and they have frozen delimitation for next 25 years. That means from 1976 to 2001, next 25 years. At this time, Vajpayee government was in power. They felt that still population of India has not stabilized, so they have brought one more amendment act, 84th Amendment Act, and through this act, they have again frozen the delimitation till 2026. So Indira Gandhi government has frozen delimitation till 2001, and the Vajpayee government has frozen delimitation in India till 2020. That means any census which happens after this date. That means after this date, what census we have? 2031 census. That is what is the understanding here. That means we are expecting changes in the number of constituencies in India for the states as well as for the Lok Sabha after this census only. But if we consider the population as criteria for the constituencies, south states will stand to lose because they stabilize their populations. But the northern states of India still have more population. So the demand from southern states is, do not consider population as the sole criteria for delimitation. That is the central point of this article. Okay, and delimitation commission, of course, is mentioned in the constitution, but as per an act of parliament we bring the delimitation. Fine. So last time we have done delimitation increase of the size of constituencies based on 1971 census, but the adjustment or the adjustment of boundaries, not increasing or decreasing, adjustment of boundaries has been done in 2008 as per 2001 census. This we have done in 2008. Only in Jammu and Kashmir we have considered 2011 census for the redrawal of the boundaries. See, don't forget one important point. The actual size of constituencies is still as per 1971 census only. Remaining adjustment of boundaries we have done by 2001 census for the rest of the India, 11 census for Jammu and Kashmir. Important points can be asked in the exam. Fine. So next one. Now what happens here is, in the non-Hindi speaking southern states and Hindi speaking northern states, what is the changes of the population proportion? So if I see in the 1971 2011, it is about 40 years. In the last 40 years, if we see Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, northern states, their population has increased from 44% to 48.2%. Whereas southern states like AP, Telangana, Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, for them population decreased from, the growth rate decreased from 24.9 percentage to 21.1. That means northern states have increased the population proportion, southern states have decreased. So if we give equal size of constituencies by population, that means as per the population, if we give the Lok Sabha constituencies, what happens? 5 southern states will lose 23 seats, northern states will gain 37 seats. That means you're penalizing the southern states for actually decreasing the population growth. In other words, here, the proportion of political representation of northern states will increase by 6.81 percentage and south states by decline by 4.24 percentage. As you can see in this graphic, how delimitation can change Lok Sabha dynamics. So as you can see on your screens, Tamil Nadu will lose 8 seats if we do delimitation, okay, after this date, because that is what the 84th amendment has frozen. AP Telangana will lose 8 seats. Kerala will lose 8. West Bengal 4. Like this, you can understand. Last, you can see here, Madhya Pradesh will gain 4. Rajasthan may gain 6. Bihar will gain 10. Uttar Pradesh will gain 11. That means the delimitation is going to affect the southern states' political representation. It is going to enhance the political representation of the northern states. So this is injustice, as the south states are saying. Fine. So the problem of balancing this happens in almost all federations. So Canada is doing something different because it's also a federation from where we have taken the entire federation. How strong central government is there? The federal scheme, what we see today, we have taken from Canada. Okay, even though 35 Act was the main source for taking the federation, but the actual provisions have been taken from Canadian Constitution. So what Canada is doing, it is actually giving more proportion of representation for the less populous provinces. But in India, we don't do that. For the less populous provinces, we have less representation. So see here, when family planning and population control are the policies of the national and the state governments, but the states which actually implemented and effectively controlled their population should not be unnecessarily penalized by reducing their political representation in subsequent periods. So population control happens not just because of family planning only. It is also because the social reforms brought by those states and by the leaders of those states. That is what the article says. Fine. And next point is with respect to finance commission. So delimitation political angle is over now. Let us see the economic angle here. As we know, Article 280 establishes Finance Commission. The role of Finance Commission is, first one is vertical distribution of funds from center to the states. It is right now 41 percentage. And if we talk about horizontal distribution of states, there are different formula how to divide the proceeds of taxes between the states. That is what is the argument here. For that, we have a different criteria here. Fine. So as you can see here on your screens, 14th, 15th Finance Commission. That means right now we are in the period of 15th Finance Commission. That is from 2021 to 26. We are right now in this phase. Then 16th Finance Commission is also going to commence after this date. Now, point here is what is the criteria through which horizontal distribution of funds is done for the states? Demographic performance 12.5%, efforts for collecting tax 2.5%, income distance means what? The income of a particular state with the ratio of the state with highest income to state with whatever the reference state is there. For example, Telangana state income, how much it is per capita income, and what is the GDP, and what is the GDP of the state with highest GDP in the India. This is the ratio which we call as income distance. So mostly it's about per capita income. Okay. So forest ecology, those who have more forest and those who have saved their ecology will be given more amount of money. Area also 15% is there. Population 15% is there. One important thing is population as per 2011 census. Here it was 1971 census. So now you are saying that the people, the states which are having more population will be getting more money. So population as per this is a problematic consideration. Let us go back to this point here. Population and per capita income are having two important indicators in the distribution formula. How much tax proceeds have to be distributed to the states? Larger weight is given again to population and per capita income. Income again is affected because of population. If you have more population, maybe because of that, there could be less per capita income also. So again, it is coming down to the population itself here. So it means states who are having less per capita income because of their population are given more amount of money as per finance commission. That means, as you can see here, this income distance as well as this population both again will affect the southern states, even though to assuage southern states a new category called demographic performance. That is, those states having fertility rate very less, they will be given more amount of weightage here, 12.5%. But still 45% income distance, which is per capita income and population, both of these will again drive the southern states into getting less amount of money. Northern states will get more amount of money here. So see here, the higher the per capita income of state, the lower is its share. And low per capita income is because generally because of high population for a given state's domestic product GDP. Therefore, higher the current population of a state, higher is their share in tax revenue. That means again population impacts here. So it is important to understand that, see here, per capita income is assigned larger weight in the distribution formula. So in all these aspects we can understand in the last 25 years the share of revenue, as we can see, for five southern states is quite less. Combined share of, see how much it is, from 21.1%, it has fallen to 15.8%. The share of revenue from the central pool for the southern states is very less. Now, compared to the northern states like Gujarat, Bihar, UP, and Uttarakhand, see here how much it is, 51.52. It has increased to 53.2% is the share of revenue for the northern states, and south states are getting very less amount of money. That means the authors of the article are saying that we need to find some different way to assign this political representation as well as economic aspect, as well as finance distribution, also tax revenue distribution. We should have some different formula apart from using population as a criteria. That is the argument mentioned in this particular editorial column. So a practice question for all of you: which of the following statements is not correct regarding delimitation commission? First one, it is a permanent body coming under a delimitation commission act enacted by the parliament. Statement B, the delimitation will apply to every general election to the House of People or State Assembly. The orders issued by it are final and cannot be challenged in any court. The present delimitation of parliamentary assembly constituencies is based on 2001 census. So this is the question. So do post the answer in the comment box. So that's it for today. I will see you again in the next class. Thank you.